Hello and welcome to Paper Crafting with Tracy. Today we're going to be doing a fun fold card. It's a shadow box card and I've got a couple different examples here. Here is one made with the Painted Poppy stamp set, and when you open it up, okay, you've got your little box there. Okay, and you can see there. And then I've got another one here that we had a regional meeting and this is where we learned how to do it. Thank you to Glenda. And this was made with the Darling Donkeys stamp set. And again, when you pop it up. Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to make this poppy one. So we're going to start, and I used a card base of Mossy Meadow. And I'm going to start with, I've got two pieces. One is a 5.5 by 7 3/4, and I've scored it at the 4 1/4 mark. The other is a 5.5 by 8 1/4, and I've scored it at 1/2, 4 1/8, and 4 5/8, all on the landscape. Then I also took a piece of Mossy Meadow, and for this I used the layering circle dies, or the framelits. Okay, these ones also have just plain circles, but I used the scallop. And I cut out the largest scalloped in the Mossy Meadow. So I'll just put that aside. Then for my background, I used part of the new DSP that's in the Celebration. And Celebration is you get free product for every $60 that you spend. So this is this Oso Ombre DSP. And you can see there's the circular side of different colors. Oops. And then there's a whole other set of colors, the greens and stuff like that. So both in polka dots as well as just the ombre. And even the polka dots have that ombre design as well. So again, you can get that for when you spend $60 Canadian, then you can choose to get that Oso Ombre for free. It is actually the most popular Celebration item. So I'm going to take a piece of cardstock, basic white cardstock, and I'm going to stamp my image first before I cut it out. So all I'm going to do is this is kind of a two-step stamping, and for the body of the poppy, I'm using Poppy Parade, and I will just here is the Painted Poppy stamp set. So that's what the inside looks like. Doesn't necessarily look like much, okay, but once you ink it up, okay, and it isn't an even ink, so I'll just warn you of that. So I'm going to put that on like so. Then I will clean off my stamp with the chamois. You just get it wet with some water and then wipe off, and there you go, your stamp set is clean. And now I'm going to get the outline of the poppy. Okay, and this is the outline. And to do that, I wanted a darker color, so we'll put aside that one. And so I just chose Real Red. I just wanted something that stood out a little bit darker than the Poppy Parade, so we'll just get some ink on there. And then just kind of line it up. It's not perfect, I'll tell you that now. It's not meant to be. And there we go. So, again, I'll just clean my stamp set off. And now I'm going to add the leaves. And you can see from the leaf that it is not perfect. I deliberately stamped it off. Oops, got some gold leafing in there from before. So, and all I'm using for this is Old Olive, one of our various greens that are around. So, ink that up, and all I did was a couple leaves going different directions here. Just like so. So then I'm going to take this cardstock and I'm going to take it over to my cut machine, which I will do in a moment because I'm going to do them both at the same time. So I'll just put that aside for a moment because we are eventually going to have to cut this out, but I need to assemble the card. So let's get our card bases back together. So all I'm going to do is take the 5.5 by 7 3/4, and I'm going to fold it along that score line and just burnish it with your bone folder. And then I'm just going to fold all my score lines on the other as well. So that's the 1/2 inch mark, then the 4 1/8 inch mark, and then the 4 5/8. Okay. So you end up with kind of a box there. And then this one you can see is uneven, and it's supposed to be. So what you're going to do is, before we stick this on there, we're going to attach the ombre. Okay, and it's the little bit narrower. So this one is 3 3/8 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to attach that first. And I'll just get my Stampin' Seal here. And make sure when you're putting your tape on that you only go on the outside edge. Don't go down the middle, because you're going to be cutting out the center of where your design is. So just to be mindful of that. And this goes, so you want this 1/2 inch. If you have it towards your left, then you're looking at the card in the direction you're going to see it. Okay, so we'll just mount that. Making sure you're within your score lines there. There we go. And now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take it to my cut machine and cut and emboss machine, and I'm going to cut both of them out using the same circular punch. So I'll just take this over. Okay. And this is the one that I'm using, so I'm going to position it about like so. So I'll just run that through my machine. Okay, so that one has been cut, and now I will cut my poppy. Okay, so now I've got my poppy cut out using the same layering scalloped circle, and I can take out the inside. Now, depending on what color you used for your background here, you could, had I used white, you could take this circle and do your stamping on for the center, but because I'm using 2 different colors, I didn't, but it's left you with a couple extra scallops. Now I will assemble the card. So the first thing you want to do is you want to tape along this 1 inch edge. Oops. Okay, like so. And then when you're looking at your card, you've got one that's shorter than the other, and you want to attach this 1 inch edge right near the score line on the long side. And that's important. You need it on the long one that's longer than the other. Just like so. Okay. So this is what you end up with. And what's going to happen is this is going to wrap around behind, and there is your box, and then this is your top. Now, I know it doesn't seem like it lays flat because we don't have a score line here, but that's deliberate, because when you close it, the whole card is actually going to lay flat. There's not going to be a box shape until you open it. That's what creates the box shape. Now, before I actually tape this around, I need to put my inner poppy. So I've got just a little piece of 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 basic white, and I'm just going to get my series of poppies here, and we will stamp that. So I just used some Memento for black, just to ink that up. Just like so. I don't know if you can hear the rain on the camera, it is pouring. Okay, so that is all I did. And then I'm going to take my stamping blends. And I just used the lighter first to go in and amongst all this. Okay, I actually need to let that sit for a moment. So while I do that, just to make sure that memento's dry before I start, I'm just going to mount this on there. Like so, I'll put the front together and then I'll mount that to the back. And then I'll put some Stampin' Seal on that. And your card, when it's laying, oops, before I put that on, I need to put my ombre on. My Oso ombre. So the color in the actual Oso ombre is Granny Apple Green, and this purple here is Blackberry Bliss. Okay, so I put that on, and then I will mount that like so, and then I will attach my poppy like so. And then all I did was put a simple thank you on it. So for that, I'm using another Celebration item, the Heal Your Heart. Okay, and I just chose to use the big thank you out of it. So I'll get that out. I'll get my block. And again, I'm just going to use Memento black. So I'll ink up my stamp and line that up. Just like so. So there's, the front is complete. I just need to color this and finish taping it together. So again, I'll get my Poppy Parade and we'll just ink this up. Okay, and you can add as much color as you want. Okay, the more you go over the same areas, the darker it'll get. So I usually start off fairly light and then add to where I want to darken it up. Okay, and just like the front, I didn't want it perfect, so I don't mind if there's some white showing. Okay, to make it look more painted. And I don't mind if I'm a little bit outside the lines. So, almost finished here. And then all I did was I went back over with the darker of the painted poppy, and I just added a little bit here and there, added some darkness to some of these, and some of the centers, some of the bases, and that's all I did. So now you just want to put some tape on there, and you can see that it goes through to the back, and that's okay. So I just put some tape on there, and now before you lie this in there, you just want to line up where you want it to go. Think about where it is you want the image to appear, and then I will line it up. Oops. Make sure it's straight, so that's what appears in my window. And now all you're going to do is tape the back of this. There we go. And then you're just going to lay this over flat. And there, the card is now complete. A little shred from when I put it through the machine, and then when you open it up, there is your painted label design, or your design. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed today's Paper Crafting with Tracy tutorial using the painted poppies and the Heal Your Heart stamp sets, the Heal Your Heart from the Celebration. If you're interested in getting any of these products, please contact me on my website, and continue to watch more tutorials on my channel, Paper Crafting with Tracy. I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. Happy stamping!